Okay, let's see. Dear Evan Hansen, I saw your movie, and I really couldn't get over the fact that you do not look like a dude that belongs in high school. It was really strange. No, it was really distracting. I spent most of the time trying to figure out who you reminded me of. Until it finally hit me. You look like Fred Armisen in a wig. Anyways, I thought the movie overall was okay. Don't hate me. Sincerely, your best and most dearest friend, me. This year seems to be pretty big for musicals. You know, we had In the Heights that came out earlier this year, West Side Story that's coming out at the end of the year. Now we have Dear Evan Hansen. But in my opinion, this musical will probably be better suited just to remain as a stage production than a full-length feature film. And when I say full-length feature film, this movie was over 2 hours long, and at most times it felt like it. Don't get me wrong, the songs overall were really heartfelt and touching. A lot of the musical numbers really caught me emotionally because of the subject matter. The supporting cast that was there was very strong. You know, Amy Adams, who was probably the most emotional part of the movie throughout, along with Kaitlyn Dever, who were both great. I mean, at least Kaitlyn Dever looked like a high schooler. Julianne Moore is a great actress, but she was hardly in the film. She was in it maybe at most 10 minutes, and out of those 10 minutes, I mean, she did a pretty good job, but definitely was way underused. However, for me, the breakouts were Amandla Stenberg, who you probably remember from Hunger Games and The Hate You Give, and Nick Dundani, who for the most part provided a lot of the humorous moments throughout the film that, you know, gave us good breaks throughout such seriousness throughout. Now, Ben Platt is a good actor and a wonderful singer, and those are really where his strengths are at. It's just, I really don't think it was right to cast him in this main role. And I get it. He was the main character and the main lead actor in the stage production, and from what I've heard, he was fantastic and phenomenal. But I think it would have been better suited if they, you know, casted someone who at least looked a little bit more believable to be a high schooler, rather than just keep it loyal to him because of the original. As for the story itself, I thought it was very heartbreaking, and, you know, had a lot of serious moments within it. Even though at certain times I do feel like they were poking fun, or at least making the audience try to laugh a little bit. But for the main character himself, Evan, as the movie continued, I really felt myself hating him and disliking him. You know, here he is a guy that, and no spoilers here because you could tell throughout the trailer, he basically told a lie. And because of this lie, he was gaining a lot of attention, popularity, kind of getting really close with Kaitlyn Dever's character there. And you felt like he was feeding off of this, and it was giving him a sense of ego, and, you know, to the point where it was pretty demonstrative, and it made me not really like this character at all. Now, of course, at the end, he had his little redemption moment, and that dislike turned into empathy, and I really felt sorry for this guy, because here is a person that has serious issues and is suffering from a severe illness. And that's really what the main point of this movie is. All joking aside, kids these days have it really tough. With all the pressures from school and, you know, social media and expectations from home, we really never know what's going on in their minds or what's going on behind the scenes unless we really sit down and pay attention. Mental illness is a huge thing these days, and especially with the current state of the world that we're in right now, the seriousness of mental illness cannot be ignored. Kudos to this film for really putting it out there and put it up in the forefront and letting us take the time to recognize that kids these days really need some help. It's really hard to know what they're going through, and maybe sometimes it's just worth sitting down and listening. Despite not liking the execution of the film, I do appreciate the film for allowing us to recognize these issues and putting mental illness in the forefront. Perhaps it will allow us to take a step back and really pay attention to the youth today. So I'm curious what you guys will think. Is this a movie that you're planning to see? Let me know in the comments. Of course, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe buttons, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace. If you or someone you know is suicidal or in emotional distress, contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Trained crisis workers are available to talk 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your confidential and toll-free call goes to the nearest crisis center in the Lifeline National Network. These centers provide crisis counseling and mental health referrals. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 1-800-273-TALK. That is 1-800-273-8255.